Hey guys, Letters here. I'm back, and this time with a review on Excalibur First Extreme. I just wanted to say real quick before I start the review. I'm gonna be leaving on Monday to go back home to Brazil, but I'm only gonna be gone for 3 months. And while I'm there, I'll be working on a new project, so stay tuned for that. Um, anyway, so this is my final video. Um, in a little while. It's not going to be a full 3 months before my next video because I'll be working on this project, but until that next video is released. So anyway, um, let's just get started. So here we have Excalibur First Extreme. It's been a bay that everyone has been going crazy for, especially since it comes with the RF of the Burst series, the Extreme Driver. Also, I just want to apologize for my voice. I've been coughing for the past week, so that's why it's a little bit more raggedy. Anyway, we'll get to Excalibur in 1 second. Let's just quickly go over the string launcher. This is the fourth string launcher we got in the Burst series. The first one was blue, the second one was the purple, the third one was red, and now this one's a translucent yellow. And I love this string launcher a lot. Everyone has been having difficulties with every string launcher on the grip to remove. Over time, taking it on and off, my Wyvern string launcher it became much easier to remove. And this one was much easier to remove from the start. I think it's probably because of the clear plastic, which is a little bit thinner and easier to bend than solid plastic. Also, I wanted to point out that this here's the mechanism, which you can see. It's pretty cool. It pulls, but it doesn't it doesn't force the string launcher to go back as much. Like on this one, it's very hard. Like the spring is very tight on this, so it pulls back much stronger, which I prefer on this, but overall this is a little bit better because this string launcher is actually a little bit longer than the other ones. So putting them side by side, oh sorry, and you can already see, again they're still side by side, it is just a little bit longer, which is very good. Other than that, it's the exact same thing as this, other than it's translucent, you can see the gears. So moving on to Excalibur, which is the bay everyone has been waiting for a lot. Let's get started. We'll talk about first. It's sort of like heavy in its shape design, and on the sides it's where the weights are. It's a little bit more hollow, and there is the two F's over here for force. And overall, I feel like this reminds me a lot of a armor, I guess you could say. Not like massive, but like just a knight's armor, like chain mail over here. I love this this disc, but it's not as useful as the rest of this bay. I haven't really found a good combo for it just yet. Moving on to Extreme, which is the Burst Series RF, and it's one that everyone's been waiting for a long time. A rubber tip. If this will focus, there we go. So just like the RF, which I have right here with Pegasus, Storm Pegasus, as you can see, it's very similar, except that this Storm Pegasus is worn a little bit because I've been using it and it's better than when you first get it. Just like with Storm Pegasus, you have to wear it down a little bit before it's actually good and usable, because when you first get it, the plastic's still hard, so it's not as, you know, it's not as aggressive as it should be, and it loses more stamina when you first get it. So wear it down a little bit by just launching it many times, and then right now it's perfect. Right now it's going really good. As you can see, there's an X over here, which is a pretty cool X. And then on the driver you can see these things, which from over here it looks like an X as well. This is a really great driver. I've been using it for most of my attack combos, replacing the XL driver and blow driver, except that some combos XL and blow is a little bit better because this loses a lot of stamina. So overall, but this driver is great. Moving on to the layer xcalibur, we can see that it's beautiful. This is a layer that everyone was really curious about. People were wondering if this was gonna be metal or not. It's not. It's just gold plastic. One thing that we weren't sure about at the start is if the red would be a solid color like this purple on Wyvern. But it's actually the clear layer. So this one doesn't have a translucent clear layer. This one has a red clear layer, and which you can see 1 second. Which is actually very cool, and it makes it look very different when it's spinning. There we go. You can see right over there. See how it changes color right over here. So this red layer is amazing. When it's spinning, it changes color, and it doesn't change color. It just looks chrome, I guess, when it's spinning. So that's really cool. And I love how they put this little design in the middle as well. Overall, so Excalibur has a lot of recoil, especially with the sword. It's good for bursting, but usually with Xtreme or another attack driver, mostly Xtreme. It's not good for stamina at all or defense. It's pretty good for balance, but that's about it. So it's very tricky to find a good combination with this layer. As you can see, this giant sword hits the other base, making it burst, but it's very hard to do that just because of the nature of the spinning. And then there's a little bit more bumps right over here, one here, and then this head, and over here. And if you guys don't know, Excalibur is King Arthur's sword, so this is one of the rare occasions of a beyblade based on an object. So this one is a sword, and it's pretty cool. Overall, Excalibur Force Xtreme is a great bay, and everyone should get. Also, one thing I have to point out is that this thing is a lot tighter to put on. The teeth are a little bit more flat and square-like. This would focus. There we go. They're a little bit just more square, which you can see right there. So it's right away, it's a lot harder to tighten, and it's very good. The only problem is that it tends to burst a little bit easier than some of my other bays. Not burst, just like come loose a little bit more, but it stays on pretty good. Other than that, I think everyone should get this bay. It's really good. It's all new parts. It's got a longer string launcher, and overall it's just great. So I recommend you guys get it. So until then, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.